Y'all. Had to come back. Got some more news in regards to Celeste Hernandez being found deceased in the car or the Tesla frunk of singer known as David, spelled DV4D. D4vd. And as you come in, please make sure you hit that like button. Again, sometimes it's better for me to go live than it is for me to record a video. So let's get started. Again, as you enter, make sure you're hitting that like button. And also, if you like what you see, subscribe. So we've got some more information coming from the police department because, again, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the internet, and I would like to confirm or have things confirmed first. The last thing that I saw that was floating around the internet, that there was this video of David on tour, and there was a girl up top, and from the video that we saw, it appeared to be Celeste. We weren't sure, and I think that it has been debunked that was not her, and we probably can figure out that it wasn't because, again, the police are talking. The coroner has not ruled on what type of the type of death or what caused the death. The only thing that we are getting out of the police department is that she had been deceased for weeks. So let me share my screen. So this is coming from the Los Angeles Times, written by Richard Winton and Salvador Hernandez. It says here that the line was Celeste Hernandez had been deceased for weeks before being discovered inside the David's Tesla. And so that would probably confirm why her body had decomposed to the point that it appeared to be dismembered, because there's several reports, some saying that it was dismembered, some saying that it was just because it had been decomposed so long that when they moved it, it appeared to be dismembered. Again, the coroner has not come out with an autopsy report outlining the condition of the remains, and we will continue to wait for them to confirm that. However, let's go over this particular article, and then I do have another article which has a slight video in it, and then we'll go ahead and conclude this. But it says the decomposing body of missing teen Celeste Hernandez was discovered in singer David's trunk. The Tesla sat parked on a Hollywood Hills street for days before being towed and searched. They say that she had been deceased for some time before being found, according to the police. So let's go over what they're saying. They're saying that the missing teen girl had been deceased. Make this a little bit bigger. A missing teenage girl had been deceased for several weeks before her decomposing body was discovered inside the trunk, according to Los Angeles police, that they stated on today, which is Monday. According to Los Angeles Police Department, Captain Scott Williams confirmed the timeline, but did not provide a precise time of death. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner is now trying to determine the cause of death. Detectives have been working for weeks to trace Hernandez's final movements and to determine any connection with David, who police says has been cooperating with them. Well, that's good to hear, because we heard that he was cooperating, and then we heard that he wasn't cooperating. So let's continue. Let's continue. A 2023 Tesla registered to David, we know that it was his, was ticketed by Los Angeles authorities on a Hollywood Hills street near where the singer lived 11 days before her body discovered. Now, it is my understanding that a car can't remain on the street more than 2 to 3 days. So that says that 11 days ago. Now, it is unsure. We don't know at this time If she was in the car when they ticketed her initially, we don't know that information or not. What we are saying is, and what they are confirming, is that the car was ticketed by Los Angeles authorities on a Hollywood Hills street near where the singer lives 11 days before her body was discovered. The Tesla had been parked on Bluebird Avenue so long that some residents complained about it in August, leading to the car being ticketed. Okay. So remember that video that everybody was floating around about Celeste being on tour in, I think it was one of the Carolinas. That could not have been her, because this car was ticketed 11 days before her body was discovered. So could it have been her? Not likely. Not by the decomposition of her body. Even when you factor in the heat and everything like that. Her body had to have been in that car at the least. Where is my phone? Her body 11 days before it was discovered. It was discovered on September 8th. So that 11 days prior to that would have been August 28th. And I can't remember when that North Carolina concert was. So, and then the question is, how did it, if it was her, is there any documentation to show that she went from North Carolina back to Los Angeles? Is there a flight record showing that? Because even when you fly a private plane, aren't you supposed to give your name and information who's flying with you? Let's continue. The Tesla had been parked on Bluebird Avenue so long that some residents complained about it in August, leading to it be ticketed. Quote, I am not sure exactly when the parking complaints about the Tesla began, but it was closer to the beginning part of August, says Williams, who, as captain of the LAPD's robbery homicide division, is supervising the investigation. Weeks later, on August 27th, a parking enforcement officer marked the Tesla, noting the position of its tires according to records reviewed by the Times. Then, on September 3rd, the officers issued a citation to the Tesla for violating the 72-hour parking ordinance. So they went out. So what they're saying is, on August 27th, they went out and marked where the Tesla was, because that way when they came back, they could see whether or not that Tesla had moved or not. But when they came back on September 3rd, the officers issued a citation to the Tesla for violating the 72-hour parking ordinance. 2 days later, the Tesla was impounded and towed to the Hollywood yard. So that was on September 3rd. 2 days later would be September 5th is when they towed it. Now, I am unsure whether or not the officer that issued the citation, did that parking officer notice that there was a smell or not? Not sure. But the car was towed 2 days later. Now, again, when we first started this investigation, there were several neighbors saying that they noticed a smell, but assumed because where it was parked that there were animals and things like that on the other side of a hedge. They just assumed that some animal or something had died on the other side of that hedge. And I'm quite sure that if that body had been in there as long as it had been, with the movement and the jostling of it from being towed from Bluebird Street to the impound yard, I'm quite sure that it would have jostled it up enough that then the odors would have been wafting outside of the car to make it very noticeable that there was something not right. In the early morning of September 8th, a tow yard worker passing the Tesla noticed a foul smell. So here we have it. It was towed on September 5th to the impound lot. It wasn't until September 8th when the tow yard worker noticed the bad smell. He alerted Los Angeles police detectives to his concern. A detective, agreeing with those suspicions, obtained a search warrant and then opened the trunk. Inside the trunk of the multi-platinum musician's Tesla was a big black bag containing Celeste's heavily decomposed remains. It says here, and I don't know if it was the remains, all the remains was 71 pounds and had a shh tattoo on her finger, according to the medical examiner. So her body was found a day after her 15th birthday. And they talk about that she grew up. And I was not aware that St. Elsinore was 76 miles away from Hollywood. I don't know why I thought it was closer. So that's probably at least an hour, almost 2 hour drive from where they're at. Celeste grew up in Lake Elsinore, about 76 miles away from Hollywood. She was in the 7th grade, and her family reported her missing at least 3 times in 2024, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Now, we will note that it was her brother who had filed the runaway petition for her. Earlier this month, David moved out of his rented multi-million-dollar home in the Hollywood Hills. The home was leased to his manager, John Marshall, according to the homeowner. Now, one of the things that's interesting about that is now that he has moved out, if the police need to go back and they find a thing and they need to go back and they need to search that home, he is no longer listed, or the John Marshall is no longer listed as the lessees. And so it may be difficult because once these people move out, there are people that come in and they clean up the place and they do all kinds of stuff. So I don't know if the police can come back and find any evidence that was left if there's new tenants that are going to be placed within that home. So they've got a statement from a neighbor that says never met or talked to David, and didn't even know he was living there. So clearly he had been living in that home with, it wasn't loud. You know what I mean? Because some people live on streets and they're out and they're about, they're extroverted, they're seeing things, but clearly he was not trying to let anybody know that he lived on that home. Never met or talked to Dave. Interesting, he calls him Dave. Didn't even know he was living there, said the homeowner, Malden Trafunic. Both me and Mr. Marshall agreed on terminating the lease. Interesting. So we're going to watch this little video. It kind of recaps a lot of stuff that we have talked about, but I do want this video to be played.
The latest on the investigations into musician David and Celeste Hernandez, the 14-year-old found dismembered in the singer's abandoned Tesla. And why hasn't the LAPD made any arrest in the gruesome case? A former federal prosecutor shared with the Daily Mail a troubling theory about why police have yet to name any suspects or make any arrests in the homicide investigation. Rivas had been reported missing from Lake Elsinore in 2024 when she was only 13 years old. Then on September 8th of this year, her remains were found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to David Anthony Burke, a 20-year-old New York-born recording artist. Burke, known professionally as David, stylized as D4vd, has been on a worldwide tour when the body was found. He performed in Minneapolis that same night after police discovered the body.
So he's 20 now, and Celeste would have been 15. So there is a 5 years difference in their ages, people. There is a 5 years difference. So they met in 2020, two? There is a 5 years difference. So anyway, I'll get the math better.
In
Let's
his
finish.
car, it was reported that he was cooperating with authorities while continuing his tour. Former federal prosecutor and founder of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Niyama Ramani, told the Mail that he isn't shocked. In his experience, the LAPD is slow. He told the outlet that sometimes a simple traffic accident report could take up to 8 months.
8 months? With all of the technology and the computers in the car, it takes 8 months for a traffic incident to get in the books?
I expect that to change within days. It's just a matter of time, Ramani said. But even as internet sleuths dig up alleged connections between Burke and Rivas from photos, videos, and screenshots, police have yet to name any suspects. Cops did raid a Los Angeles house where the singer had reportedly been living and seized several items of evidence. According to the Daily Mail, after the raid, Burke and his manager asked to terminate their lease, and movers have been seen at the property boxing up belongings. The raid on Burke's pad comes as connections between the pop star and the dead teen keep piling up online by social media sleuths.
And I'm wondering if the police are looking into that information, because as of last week, as I have been looking through there, and I am going to do a video about Celeste. I was going to do it last Thursday, but that was my birthday, and I wasn't going to be talking about a child's death on my birthday. But as of last week, they were moving out of the home. The police don't have a suspect yet because, again, the coroner hasn't figured out or has discussed how this person died. I'm quite sure that they're waiting on the toxicology report and any of those things like that. So that's why they probably haven't released the autopsy report or given an exact cause of death. I don't know. I don't know how decomposed the remains were to say that that they can come up with the cause of death. But what I will say this, until they do, everything that comes on the internet, everything that people are seeing and talking about and pulling up again, because again, let's just be clear, a lot of it is for clicks and views and to be the first to say that they've seen something that they believe that nobody else has seen. But until they confirm how she died, we won't know exactly what happened. Because it could be something that she could have overdosed, and whoever she overdosed with, they tried to hide her body. If she was the one that overdosed, that wouldn't be, we don't know. We just don't know. And I'm not going to sit up here and speculate about anything. We don't know how she passed away. We just know that she did. And we know that the car that she was, where her resting place was, in that Tesla car frunk that was owned by David, was her final resting place. And that particular car had been ticketed 11 days before it was impounded. That's what we have that's confirmed. And the only thing that we have confirmed also is that she had been dead for several weeks before she was found. Is that 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? We don't know.
Screenshots of old messages on David's Discord fan server show he was rumored to be dating a teen named Celeste years before Rivas was found dead. In one disturbing message in the fan chat room, apparently dug up by the online detectives, a user allegedly responded to a post from Burke in 2024, telling him to release the song about Celeste Rivas Hernandez, which would have been about 4 months after she was reported missing. In 2023, Burke allegedly made an unreleased track in which he mentions the name of Celeste twice, which was leaked on X following Rivas's identification. In the song, Burke allegedly sings, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes." Rivas's mother told TMZ that the young teen had been dating someone named David before she went missing. The teen also mysteriously had a tattoo on her right index finger that read, "Shh." Several celebrities also have the same tattoo, including Rihanna and Lindsay Lohan, neither of whom is thought to be connected to Rivas. But perhaps more mysteriously, so does Burke. Internet sleuths have also been hard at work digging up unverified videos and photos of Burke.
Now, what's interesting, because they say that they see that, but there are pictures of someone who has David tattooed on their finger, and that is not Shh. So does she have David and Shush, or it's just shush. I'm going to go with the corner because no one has confirmed about this tattoo named David that she's had on her finger. They've only confirmed that she had the tattoo shh. And I am curious, who was the tattoo artist that did the tattooing? Because according to what I have dug up, that in California, it doesn't matter if your parents can't give you permission because they will not allow for you to be tattooed unless you're 18 years old. Now we have heard reports that have not been confirmed that that Celeste was using a fake ID. Was she using a fake ID when the tattoo was put on her finger? Who did that? Who did the tattoo work? That is a good question that everyone would like to have answered. Let's continue.
With a young woman bearing a strong resemblance to Rivas, many times with her face partially covered. Confirmed photos of Rivas were circulating on missing posters in 2024. In one alleged live stream video that is particularly disturbing, a girl resembling Rivas was seen answering fan questions with Burke and mentioned child rape.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
The twisted tragedy led to Burke seeing a streaming boost on Spotify.
Did y'all hear that? He said, I media trained you. I media trained you. And that's controversial. And then she said, well, is it as controversial as child rape?
As of September 21st, David's single Romantic Homicide jumped to number 8 on the music platform's daily top songs in the US. In the music video for the song, Burke appears to hold a knife while serenading a blood-soaked dead woman in a wedding dress. It has amassed 187 million views. His other music videos have also enjoyed a rush of interest, especially one for One More Dance, with many circulating it online to share its creepy likeness to the real-life horror. The video, which has been viewed more than 4.3 million times on YouTube, shows Burke covered in blood as he drags his own body along the ground, before stuffing it in the trunk of a vehicle. Burke has not been implicated by police in Celeste's death, and according to the Daily Mail, has retained the help of celebrity attorney Blair Burke. Authorities told the Los Angeles Times that the newly surfaced photos allegedly showing Burke and Rivas together are being investigated, but police have not publicly detailed any prior relationship between the singer and the victim.
Now I haven't watched any of those videos because I just refuse to give it views and clicks and things like that. But from what I hear, that a lot of the stuff that's depicted in this video is eerily, putting bodies in trunks and all this other stuff is eerily familiar about what happened to Celeste. And lastly, I'm going to share this tab by TMZ. And again, this is always written by TMZ staff. We don't know exactly who did it, but it says David could have been notified about open Tesla trunk. Missing teen found dead in his car. Now, this is what I'm understanding from the folks that I'm talking to. It is my understanding that the Tesla is very technologically driven, meaning that there are cameras all around the Tesla. If you leave a door ajar, if you leave a trunk open, if you do any of those things, it will alert you. If you have the app on your phone, it will alert you that these things are going on with your it'll alert you if your Tesla is moving. It'll alert all these different things. And so what it seems like, and we're going to read the article, but it seems like TMZ is alleging that he could have been notified when his car had been moved, when his trunk had been opened, because it would take a good amount of time to move the deceased remains from one spot to another. So let's continue with this article. And I'm wondering, are they getting this information from Tesla, or do they have a warrant for his phone to look this information up? This is interesting. David has not been named as a suspect in Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death, but many are wondering how her body ended up in his trunk, especially since the Tesla he drives can send a notification about being opened directly to his phone. And they say, here's the deal. Uh-oh. The 2023 Model Y Tesla has moved beyond the standard key and fob, with many using a Tesla app to open and drive the vehicle. And so this looks like, I guess, what will appear in the app to show you if any of these things are done. And you probably can control in the app if you want to open the trunk, if you want to open the car, even if you want to turn the car on. The app chock full of helpful features, including the ability to send a push notification to your car if you leave your trunk open for more than 10 minutes. So if someone was loading Celeste's remains in the car and it took more than 10 minutes to do so, David could have received a notification about it. To be clear, we don't know for a fact that David does have notifications on, or even if he has the app. He's young. He's a young person. There's no way in the world you're going to make me believe that he doesn't, but he may not. Or even if he has the app, you can purchase a regular key fob from Tesla, which just needs to be on your person when you go to the door. And the car also comes with key cards, which can unlock the vehicle as well. And so this is a picture of David on 5/11/2023 in this car. Obviously, the Teslas loaded up with cameras too. Dash cam and cameras on the side of the vehicle that activate if in Sentry mode. Sentry mode turns the cameras of the vehicle on even while parked. If a threat is detected or the vehicle sensors determine that there's a lot of jerky movement, like when getting towed or shaken, according to Tesla's website. So again, he could have received notification that his car was moving. However, Sentry mode is disabled by default, and you need a Tesla USB flash drive plugged in order to record around the clock. So we might not see any camera footage. And again, we don't know if David had the setting enabled or if he had the flash drive, which would allow him to review the footage. Interesting, 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 interesting. So, what do y'all think about this information? Looks like the police have confirmed that she had been deceased for weeks prior to her being found. And if we want to just say weeks, we could say anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. Now, the neighbors reported the car being on the street in violation of the 72-hour parking rule. So, at the least, that car has been there since about August 20 something. And they noticed it previously before, to the point that the traffic people had come out and measured where the car was on the street. And then they were going to come back to see if the measurement still remained the same. And it did. And therefore the car was towed. Interesting, 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 interesting. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, what do y'all think about this new information? Does that change or waver your stance of whether you feel like David had involvement or not? Where was Celeste living while she was in Los Angeles? Because if we assume that he had been on tour since the first part of August, where was she living? Because I think a couple of things had been debunked about her being on tour. Well, she was on tour with him, but we don't know when that video was taken, because he did a tour last year in 2024. Is that some footage that came from 2024? Interesting. Or was that footage coming from 2025? The one where his brother is walking her into backstage. Also, it was reported last week, and I'm going to wrap this up, that David had been on the Discord app, because he is a mod for his own Discord application, that he was on there and other mods were on that Discord deleting messages. Looks and from what some of the pundits are talking about, that anything that had to do with Celeste were being deleted. Any message that she sent, they were deleting. And I hope the LAPD is watching that and getting a court order for Discord, so they can get the original messages as they were before people started coming behind them and deleting it. And also, my question is, why are they doing that? My personal belief is that they knew who she was. They knew who she was dating, because Discord has come out and the moderators on the Discord said that they thought that she was 18. But clearly, somebody in that Discord was sounding the alarm that she was not at that time. Child, a mess. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, what are y'all thinking about this new information coming from the police, that they believe that she had been deceased for weeks before she went into that car? It's gonna get worse and worser and worser. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.